How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We are starting to get new people into crypto, and I want to give you a video explaining some mistakes that newer investors make, and then also just talking about a lot of the questions that people have when they get into crypto, and kind of talking about some of the misnomers in crypto. So if this is your first time on the channel, please hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one and any kind of news updates. I know it's very tough when you start getting into crypto because a lot of people have YouTube channels that have already talked about crypto for years. So you're kind of just jumping in the deep end. You're trying to listen and pick up on little things that are happening in the video, or you're trying to listen to what they're saying, and a lot of the words might not even make sense. So that's why I want to stop, breathe, and talk about some of the new things that you need to learn if you're new to crypto. So first of all, I think there are a lot of misconceptions on crypto at the beginning, and a lot of questions that you have, obviously. First of all, you're probably wondering, okay, how do I even look at crypto? So there are a couple different websites you can use: CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. You can go in, and there's so many different charts you can look at when it comes to crypto, but you can look at the prices, the market caps, volume, circulating supply. This has a lot of the data you might want to look at on a normal basis. And I'll leave links to a lot of this underneath the video, but this site I'm not affiliated with or anything like that. So you can look at it yourself. Just look up CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. So you're going to look here, and then you're probably going to think, okay, should I buy crypto in the first place? That's probably one of the first questions. Should I buy? Okay. I think, first of all, you actually have to know what crypto is. So spend a couple weeks listening or a couple months listening. I know it's tough because you'll probably see the price keep on going up. If you don't understand crypto, though, you're probably going to make some mistakes. Otherwise, you can put in $5, $10, something like that. Something that is a little bit to you that you're not going to be pissed off if you lose it, but it's enough that you're paying attention a little bit more. And then after you understand a little bit, maybe try to explain it to someone. That's probably a good signal that you're ready to invest more heavily, is if you can actually explain Bitcoin to someone. If they have questions, be able to answer those questions. And when you're wondering if you should buy, do you want to buy just because the price is going up? Because that's typically not a good reason to buy an asset, because that means you don't really know what's happening with the underlying asset. You don't understand what Bitcoin is or what Ethereum is. You're just buying because you think it's going to go up in value. Now, if it doesn't go up in value, you might be more willing to sell it when you shouldn't. Assets are an interesting thing. Like crypto and stocks are an interesting thing because they're one of the only assets that as the price goes down, we are less likely to want to buy it naturally. Like if you go into a store and they say everything's on sale now, you're not going to go running out of that store. You're going to probably buy more. Or you're just going to buy something in general. Assets like crypto or stocks, people would get worried about. If it keeps on falling down day after day, you feel like you want to get out because it's going to be worth less over time. Because a lot of people invest in cryptocurrency or stocks because they want to make money. And if they're not making money, then there's no real utility to them. That's what they think. So make sure you're not just buying because you want to see the price go up. And then another question you might want to ask yourself is, can you handle a 50% drawdown, right? If you're investing and you buy because the price is going up, can you actually handle a 50% drawdown? Now, sometimes you're not going to see the price go down for a while. Like Bitcoin's at 38K right now. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if you're watching this in a year, right? You could be watching and Bitcoin's at 55K. And then you could be reading and saying, okay, I have to wait a couple weeks, and then it goes to 60, 65, 70, 75. And you might not actually be able to buy when it falls down. So you have to be comfortable with the asset, even if it's going up. If you decide that you want to buy, make sure that you're comfortable and you understand it, and you can withstand that drawdown. We fell 75%, 80% from the top to the bottom. So that's like a 50% cut and then another 50% cut. And a lot of other assets fell down more than that. That was just Bitcoin. A lot of other cryptocurrencies fell 90, 95%, 98%, 99%. So keep that in mind. Okay, and then also you need to just understand your situation, right? That's another thing that plays into whether you should be buying or not. Do you have disposable income? Do you need this money anytime soon? Because it's not a good idea to invest Of course, now this is financial advice, but it's not a good idea to invest if you need the money within a week, a month, even 6 months or a year. It can be very difficult to get your money out and actually make money if you have such a short time horizon on your investing. So make sure you understand all that. And one thing that a lot of people do is dollar cost average. Instead of just putting all your money in at one time, you put in a little bit, then you put in a little bit more week after week. Let's say you have $500 a month after all your expenses to invest. Well, maybe you want to keep some on the sidelines, like keep some in cash just in case we fall drastically and you have an opportunity to buy more. Maybe you want to put some into stocks, right? And then some into crypto. Well, you should probably be buying like $100 a month or something like that, or $150, whatever you're comfortable with. And if you have like a lump sum, if you have $5,000 just sitting in a savings account, usually it can drive you crazy if you put it all in at the same time. Sometimes that's great. And if you look at historical studies, it usually is better to lump sum invest, but just from a mentality standpoint, it can be very difficult if you put in $5,000, then you see it turn into $4,000 or $3,000. So that should cover, the should I buy section. Then what should I buy? You might get into crypto and think, I have no idea. There are 100 different assets. I have crypto YouTubers telling me to buy this coin or this coin or this coin, some small cryptocurrency that's really hard to find, right? Okay, so when you get into crypto, it's a whole new world. These are like almost like different stocks, right? Like the whole crypto market can go up at one time, just like the whole stock market can go up at one time if there's a change in macroeconomics, if the Fed changes what they're doing with interest rates, or if there's some kind of big stimulus or some kind of good macroeconomic news. So the whole market can go up at one time, or one crypto can go up at one time. There can be some good news on some cryptocurrency. They make a big partnership. They're being used a lot. A lot of developers come in and build really cool apps that people are using. There can be bad things that happen too. Some cryptocurrency gets hacked. Maybe you invest in BNB. BNB is the token of Binance, one of the largest exchanges in the world. Maybe Binance goes bankrupt and then the token goes down to zero. There can be all types of things that happen. So you have to be careful with that. I will say, get to know Bitcoin first. I think that's the best idea. Bitcoin is in a completely different asset class almost in my mind. It is a cryptocurrency, but it is the largest. It's the least risky. It's the most decentralized. It's probably the least that's going to be, or the cryptocurrency that's least problematic from a like a law standpoint. I can't think of the right way to phrase it right now, but the regulation on it should be better. There are going to be less countries that try to kick it out or try to claim that's a security, which makes it harder to buy, that kind of thing. So Bitcoin is the least risky. Now, that being said, it is the largest cryptocurrency. That brings me to the next point. Price doesn't matter. If you're looking at cryptocurrencies and you're saying, oh, maybe I'll invest in XRP because it is 100 times smaller than BNB, right? Actually, more than 100 times. It's like 300 times smaller. That's not actually the case. What you want to look at is their market cap. You can cut cryptocurrency into 1 million different cryptos or 1 million different tokens or 1 billion or 1 trillion or 10. And that doesn't really matter as much as how big the market cap is. The market cap is what shows you like how large the cryptocurrency is as a whole. So, for example, XRP is nearly the same size as BNB from a market cap perspective, which means that if new money were to fly into XRP and BNB, they probably do a similar type of return. Like if $1 billion flew in and wanted to buy up this asset. Now, part of it has to do also with how much is available. So if there's a lot of BNB that's trying to be sold, then $1 billion won't push up the price as much as if XRP, there's only like 10 XRP tokens, right? Because no one's selling. That causes the price to change differently as well. But I would look at market cap. I'm getting on a tangent there, but market cap is really how you determine how big a cryptocurrency is. This is ranked in terms of the largest cryptos. So as you can see, Bitcoin's the largest with the largest market cap, then Ethereum, then Tether, which is a stable coin, which is just something that's pegged to $1. BNB, 38 billion, XRP, 37 billion. You can see the prices change all over the place, but they are getting smaller in terms of market cap. So Tron is 10 cents, and it's actually a larger cryptocurrency, a larger market cap than Chainlink, which is at $15.50. So again, don't invest in anything thinking like if you invest in some coin that's 0.0002 cents or something, that if it can easily get to $1 because there's so many other cryptos at $1. That's not how it works. There are way more of that token, most likely, because it's at a very low price. So just keep that in mind. Price doesn't matter except when you're looking at like a token over time, if that makes sense. If you're looking at a particular token and you're talking about Ethereum at 4,000 versus Ethereum at 2,000, yeah, the price has doubled. The market cap will have about doubled as well, most likely. So keep that in mind. One thing you also want to look at is just how much inflation there's going to be. For example, on a lot of tokens, you can see the circulating supply and then the total supply. Now, Ethereum's the same here, but you can see the fully diluted market cap down here too. Let me look at a different cryptocurrency. Like, let's pull up Filecoin, for example. Filecoin's fully diluted market cap, which is after all the tokens are released, is $9 billion. The market cap is only $2.2 billion. So that means that the supply is going to about 4x. Now that means that there's going to be a lot of people that are getting tokens, most likely early investors or people getting rewards for doing something on the network that will probably sell. A lot of people sell their tokens if they get them in rewards or if they're early investors. So that can cause a lot of selling pressure. So a lot of the time you want to take that into account too. For example, Bitcoin has a circulating supply of 19.5 million Bitcoin right now, and there's going to be a total supply of 21 million. So there's not going to be that much inflation. That's over the next 100 years, basically, is we're going to have 7% of the remaining supply, or 7% of the overall supply is going to hit the markets. So keep that in mind too. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. There are a lot of terms I'm using, but you can go pause this video or rewatch it. That kind of thing will make you understand it better. So price doesn't matter. Pay attention to Bitcoin first. You can get into other altcoins. Altcoins are just anything that's not Bitcoin. As you get into smaller and smaller cryptos, they're typically a lot riskier, but they also have more potential upside in a lot of people's minds. So keep that in mind. So where do you buy? After you've looked at all this, how do you even buy a cryptocurrency? Well, let's say you want to go to Bitcoin and you want to buy Bitcoin. You can scroll down on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, and it will give you all the different exchanges that you can buy them on. If you're in the US, check out crypto.com. I'll leave a link to it underneath the video. There you can buy a lot of quality assets, and you can buy them pretty easily. Now, something that you'll want to look at when you're picking an exchange is the fees. So sometimes they'll give you a fee for buying. If you want to buy $100, maybe they'll charge you $1. Or the spreads as well. So a lot of the time they might say, okay, we have zero fees, but then they'll charge you, instead of $37,642, they'll charge you like $38,000 to buy Bitcoin. And even if you're buying a smaller amount, it still translates. So that's something to pay attention to. Also, I didn't say this, but you don't need to buy a full Bitcoin. You don't need to buy a full Ethereum. If you start with $5 or $10, that's great. If that's all you can start with, people want to know, will this actually make a difference? If I invest with $5 or $10, is it even worth doing? I'd say yes. If you start investing, no matter how much money you're putting in, it's worth doing. So you can check out crypto.com. I'll leave that linked underneath the video. Also, I'll leave a link to Margex too. If you want to trade on leverage, there are ways to do that. If you're watching this video, that's probably not a good solution for you, but you can amplify your returns if you do that. But again, I would suggest just buying, it's called spot, just buying Bitcoin or buying cryptocurrencies and just buying it normally before kind of trying to do any kind of leverage trading. Now, something that is really important, a lot of people say this, not your keys, not your crypto. And I've talked about this in a lot of videos. If I'm going too fast, or if you want to learn more, just look up like Bitcoin or any specific cryptocurrency on my channel. And I also have a playlist called Investing for Beginners. I would check those out. Now, they say not your keys, not your crypto. Basically, they're saying that phrase means that if you don't hold your private keys, which is like a seed phrase. It's usually 12 to 24 words in a specific order that give you access to what's known as a cold wallet or a hot wallet. A cold wallet is separate from the internet. It's like off of your phone. It's its own device. I have a lot of videos talking about this. Treasure is a cold wallet provider that I use and have worked with. So I have a series on how to set up a Treasure wallet, or why you need a Treasure wallet, that kind of stuff. And I would definitely go watch those. Basically, if you keep your money on an exchange, right? The exchange should be a place of exchange. You should be buying your crypto there. And then if you want to trade it or something like that, you can keep on the exchange. But generally, you should take it off of them and put it into your own custody. That's one of the great things about Bitcoin is it is fully decentralized. You can hold your own wealth in it and no one can touch it if you do it right. Now, there's some things that you have to know about that. That's why I made videos on it, because if you send your crypto to the wrong address, you can lose it. If you lose your private keys and you lose your hardware wallet, you can lose your crypto as well. But also, if you keep your crypto on an exchange and the exchange goes bankrupt, which happened a lot during this last bear market, you can lose all your crypto. So I would suggest after you buy a little bit, it might not be worth buying a cold storage wallet right away. If you have $100 worth of crypto, it's not worth spending $50 on a cold storage wallet. But if you have thousands in it, you probably want to buy a cold storage wallet. I'll leave links to Treasure underneath the video too. I have the best discount code they give because I make $0 when you sign up and use my discount code to get 15% off. I said just give my viewers the entire amount. I don't want any kind of affiliate commission. I just want them to get the wallet as cheap as possible so they'll actually get wallets. So I'll leave a link to that underneath the video as well. And then if you're wondering, like, how do I actually track all these different cryptos? First of all, you probably shouldn't hold too many cryptos. Like, some people have different views on this. Some people have hundreds of cryptos. Some people have one crypto. Some people only have Bitcoin. Some people have 5 or 10 cryptos. I'd suggest early on starting with just a couple cryptos, and then maybe you get to 5 or 10, but you don't want to have so many that you can't keep track. And if you want to keep track of your cryptos, I'm creating a net worth tracker where you can track all your different cryptocurrencies. You're going to be able to compare how you do over time, how much wealth you're building, and you're going to be able to denominate in something like Bitcoin, which I realize might not make a lot of sense right now, but as time goes on in crypto, you'll understand a lot of people just use altcoins to try to get more Bitcoin. So in that net worth tracker, we're going to create something where you can denominate everything in Bitcoin. So you can see, okay, I'm worth 10 Bitcoin this month, and I was worth 9 Bitcoin last month. So I've gained overall in my Bitcoin net worth, which is kind of cool. So I'll leave a link to that underneath the video. We're still very early stages there, so definitely check that out. And keep in mind, this is a learning process. If you think you're going to understand everything after a week or a month or a couple months, you're probably wrong. I've been doing this full-time, YouTube full-time for 3 years, and I've been really interested in investing in cryptocurrency in that whole time period. I'm still learning things all the time and reminding myself of things. This is a whole new language, cryptocurrency. It's financially related to, so a lot of things come into play and affect crypto's prices, and there's always new things being created. Like if I go down the list, I couldn't tell you what every single cryptocurrency in the top 100 does. I'd have to look at it and then I could understand what they do. But there are a lot of terms as a newer investor that you're not going to understand. And that's okay. Just make sure that you understand what you're actually investing in. That's the biggest thing, I think, up front. There's always going to be some shiny cryptocurrency that's going up fast that you're going to want to buy, but you have to understand it. And you typically don't want to buy tops. You don't want to buy something when it continues to hit all-time high after all-time high because there usually is some kind of a pullback. Now, of course, that's not always the case, so you have to do your own due diligence. Make sure you're comfortable with what you're investing in. Make sure you're comfortable where you're buying it, how much you're buying it for, because you know that cryptos can fall down, and they can fall down to zero. So keep that in mind. Now, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope this video wasn't too glitchy there. My computer's having a hard time. I think it's because Bitcoin's been going up so much recently. It's having a hard time processing this. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Check out the links underneath the video, and I'll see you in the next one.